Okay, here's an experiment, and I am deadly serious. Using Newton, Euler, Einstein, Mach and Levy and the work of the Pirates, here's my experiment. The pyramid is the correct power source. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the power source that can control the magnetic pole switches. It can control their strength. It can't stop them. CERN and the IceCube facility are currently holding the magnetic pole switch corruptly, using corrupted energy, and that's ours, corrupted energy, and that's building the world around you, and it's having an effect both on your behaviour and on the planet. The weather and the disasters that are occurring, and the war, and the suffering, and the genocide, and the mental angst that each person is experiencing is all because of the corrupt holding of the magnetic pole switch by CERN. So the experiment I'm proposing is that we restore the power source of the pyramid before we switch off CERN. So we put up with the mental anguish, but we stop all the war because we can control that. Just say stop and choose to be peaceful in that, and then take the time to look at this other information about the pyramids. Inside the pyramid there is a void that has been detected with muons. It's a particle, they describe it, but in fact what a muon is a property of gravity. There's a property of gravity inside the pyramid, provable with muon detectors. Go and look it up. It's in a mass of the pyramid that has no access to it. They just know there's something there, a fuzzy void. That void is the center of the universe. We need to restore it back to where it should be in the King's Chamber. When we do that, water will arrive and it will flow out of the pyramids, and that area will turn into a green garden, because the water is the purest water that you can ever have. It's just arrived, it's new water. The truth that Levy proved in science, that was backing up Newton, of absolute motion is this, that water exists as absolute motion. At the end of Levy 14, he proves that there is an anti-clockwise motion in the support when you set the steel to plastic modulus. Somewhere in there, you're at the end of the plastic modulus zone, and that's motion. Proving absolute motion in 1915 with nothing else. So we're going to take that idea of absolute motion, using Levy, and now using the science of consciousness that we now understand, that we are consciousness, taking hold of the science of this and taking our focus towards the pyramid. If you're there, great. If you're not there, it doesn't matter. We're going to take our focus towards it with all our love and all our skill and all the work that we have done. Take that to the pyramid and move that void to the center. So find out about the void, accept that this is possible, and using your own routes towards it, make it so. Because it's the proof, the power of consciousness to restore the planet, with the science behind it. This is what we're going to do. The pyramid is set at 3/60ths of a degree offset from cosmological north. Okay? It's so exact, isn't it? Imagine the size of that thing with the casing on it, 3/60ths of 1 degree from true cosmological north. The only way that is possible is that you build the pyramid first, and then the planet sets itself. The planet moves to that position of perfection from cosmological north. So you've got a check, and it's all the stones that we have are checks against time. Stonehenge is a check against time. Year by year, you know, am I in time? Is this right? Yes, this is lining up. Because if you'll notice, you've noticed that it doesn't always line up. And you've noticed that if you behave well, it lines up better. That there's a behaviour-driven way you can control the regular cycle of the solstice. Because you move the planet. The momentum of the planet adjusts to its vector axis. I'll leave you with this, scientists. Euler's rigid body axis theorem says that if you have any infinitesimal change of a rigid body somewhere inside at a fixed point, there will be one rotation. And he proves it mathematically so beautifully that it must be true. So, but it's a theorem because you can't prove it. You just put Levy inside, you take another one of those rigid body axis theorems and you stick it in the middle and you make it a fluid around the outside, and you see that a vector axis is created in that second body inside. Another axis is created at X, Y, Z, another one is created about the same fixed point. And then you can prove by reversing Euler that an infinitesimal change on the vector axis results in one rotation of the entire system. If you then assume that the vector axis is Earth, and you think about infinitesimal change, and you think about a butterfly wing of love having a positive impact, creates one more rotation of the entire universe. Another cycle of time is added. A huge one from each beat. So it's infinite time, nearly, because we keep adding to it through the power of love. Okay, welcome to New Earth.